Hello, internet dads, internet mums, internet non-parents, and non-internet human beings. Although if you're not on the internet, I don't know how you're consuming this content right now. Welcome back to another episode of Internet Dads. I'm Spencer. You're Rory. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm on good form.
That's nice to hear.
This is gonna be a good episode. I've got a great feeling about this.
But I feel like if roles were reversed right now, I know exactly what you'd be saying if you were in my shoes, because I'm on daddy duty this week. Alex is out of the country in Portugal.
No.
Disclaimer, she has got the youngest with her, so I'm only on single daddy duty.
You're just man marking.
I'm man marking. I'm doing a decent job right now. I'm doing like a Jamie Carragher type pest, just not letting him out my sight. However, he's obviously at big school now.
This is terrible.
3:20 p.m.
I know.
What is going on?
Do you have a late room or
There's
like
no
wraparound care?
wraparound at the moment. It's 3:20, mate. It's scandalous. Yeah. I'm back in my house. I live so close to the school, like 3:25.
Yeah, now what?
Now what am I doing? How
Now
many
what?
films can he physically watch before bed?
I know. It's really hard, isn't it? That 3:20 finish, it does nothing for the parents at all.
It's mad because I'm the first to say, school is only, a capitalist construct to allow people to go to work and all that. I'm like, well, actually, it's not really doing its job.
Actually,
I need it to go to 5.
Yeah. Also, like, even if it goes to 5, so for example, if I get care for Clementine till about 5. Because of where I work and now where I live, it's no good anyway.
Yeah.
Still got to leave work at half 3.
Yeah. It's crazy. And I think, like, one thing I will say, though, I've found this before when I've done similar weeks like this. I will say, because of, and I'm not saying I'm a hero here, I will not want to extend this experience beyond a week or two. But doing it every now and then, I find it really focuses the mind. Like, so right now, I am like, literally, I drop him off about 8:40. So I'm like, right, between the hours of 8:40 and 3:20, I'm work.
Got to be.
I can't dilly-dally. I can't, mess around and procrastinate. I have to just be effective. And then what you do after that is you go, right, I am now a father. And I know that sounds really obvious, but for someone like me who's runs his own businesses and could easily, perhaps wrongly, justify to myself this always on mentality, and I'm WhatsApping and I'm messaging. Like last night I was doing, after we went to bed, I was doing stuff on WhatsApp. Like, I do like that brief period of sort of peace when I can just be, I'm a dad, I'm making breakfast, I get him to school on time, work a little bit, pick him up.
Yeah, I think routine is always like at the epicenter of happiness, isn't it? Like if you know exactly where you are, you know what your responsibilities are. I get it. I really do get it. But I also find it so hard. I've never had to do what you're doing now. Like, you are completely the sole carer for a period of time.
Yeah,
I've never done that.
One kid, yeah.
For one, I've never done it. I've literally never done it. But when I do it for moments, so even like a really minor moment, I don't know, Victoria will be going to do something work-wise. So she had to go in recently because she's starting a job in February. She had to go in for kind of drinks, but also to just like meet the team and reacquaint herself with the job. She had to come into London into Netflix. So we don't live particularly near there. It's not far, but it's not round the corner. She's had to come in. So I'm now on, which means I'm putting Pandora to bed. It means I'm putting Clementine to bed. It means I have to make sure that they've eaten. I have to make sure that Clementine is entertained. When they both eventually went to bed, which was probably about an hour and a half later than it should have been, I just couldn't have rationalised doing it again the next day. Like, it was fine because it was once.
Yeah.
But it was like,
well,
I had a whiskey.
Yeah, I'm like crashing at like 9:30.
You have to get on their routine, don't you?
Yeah, I have to. Because I mean, normally I wouldn't, I'll be honest, I would often not do that. Even though I do always get up with Al and the kids around sort of 7ish.
How many nights are you in charge?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Oh.
Yeah, she's back Friday night. She left Monday morning.
So is it actually working for you, though? The routine?
Oh, it's honestly, I will say, well, we had nursery before, so there's obviously a routine there, but it's less of a routine because you sort of drop them off when you want to drop them off.
Don't have to pick them up. You have
yeah. I mean, we would pick him up from nursery. We'd pick him up the last possible moment, which was 5:40.
Would you?
But we would drop him off at like 10 sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? So we're actually not doing more. We're actually doing less hours at school, really. But it is bang on. You've got a 10-minute window to drop him off. Oh, by the way, I've got a story to tell you, mate. I was fuming with the school. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, here we go.
He's been great. He's like a couple of weeks in now, and he's loving it. We've had one meltdown, and it was completely the school's fault.
Oh, really?
Right. So, drop off is 8:40 to 8:50. Very tight window for a quite big school. Right? You've got a 10-minute window. That's fine. No problem. We walk most days, unless it's raining or something, because it's a really easy walk. We're cutting it a bit fine one day, and I'm like, come on, let's get a bit of a jog on. The rule is, and I found this out at the time, that at 8:50 they lock the gate that goes to the actual classroom, and then you have to go through the through the reception, and it's a bit of a palaver. So I get to the thing, and I'm like, it's locked. I didn't think I was late. I checked my watch, 8:48. They've locked the gate 2 minutes early.
Yeah, which is a big percentage. It's 20%, 20%
It's a
early.
huge amount, right? So I'm like, okay, what do I have to do? And figuring out, there's not even signs, no one telling me. It's like, okay, buzz the reception, they let me through. I get in and I'm like, look, we're new at the school. I don't want to make a bad impression. I am that guy that could be unliked if I complain, right? So I'm like, don't let the real Spencer come out, pretend to be nice. So I get in there and obviously they're used to this, but what the receptionist probably didn't equate for is that they're wrong in this occasion because they've locked the door early. So they go, "Oh, you're late, are you, Daddy?" And straight away I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna kick off." Like,
feel that wave come over you. No, right? I'm not actually. You locked the door early, but I'm not going to say too much.
No, so I didn't. But this is a mistake I did make, is what I then said to my little boy, like almost as if to say, like my emotion was like, "Oh, it's like they don't want us here," sort of thing. And I'm also aware that legally he doesn't have to be at school till he's 5. So I go to my little 4-year-old who's obviously not picking up the satire that I'm implying here. I go, "Oh, we're late. Shall we just go home then? Shall we go home?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's go home." Because he loves school, but he did not like going in this new entrance. They like routine. Suddenly he's seen a reception he's never seen before. Not the reception class, the actual school reception. And he's like, doesn't like this. And the woman's been a bit weird. So he's like, "Yeah, let's go home, please." I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm joking. You can't actually go home." He's like, no, we need to go home. We need to go home. He's panicking. And then she can suss out what's going on. They make you sign in this little digital thing, right? And as I'm signing in, it says 8:49. So it's still not even 8:50, right? So I'm like, there's a digital receipt that I was not late. So I'm like, I'm not having them say I'm late. And then they go into overdrive because they can see he's about to melt down. Obviously, they know what they're doing. Teacher comes out. She goes, "Right, come with me." And he goes full on, nightmare, like, "Don't leave me," crying his eyes out. I'm like, "Oh my God, I can't leave him." They're like, "Daddy, trust us. Just walk out. We'll ring you in 10 minutes. He'll be fine." But he's literally like, "Don't let them take me." I'm like, "Oh my God, it's everything in your body wants you just to get him." So obviously I have to let him go. And I walk out there and I'm like, that was horrible. And then they ring me 5 minutes later. They go, "Ringing you just to let you know it's all good. He's fine. Don't worry." I'm like, "Cool. Just to let you know."
You had to.
Like, it was 8:48 when I got there. The door wasn't locked. And they're like, "Oh, well, it would have been 8:50. And I'm like, "Okay, do me a favor, go on your little machine and look at the time that I signed in." And she goes, "Oh, right. Yeah. Well, have a nice..." As soon as she knew they were in the wrong, they wanted to end the phone call. And I was like, "You caused that."
That is incredibly frustrating.
Because it's emotional.
Also, you're not, I would say to you, mate, be on time, but you were.
Yeah, like, and I'm sure I'll be late another day, and that'll be 100% on me.
Yeah.
But it was annoying in this occasion because he just, and it was fine. He got over it and he not even mentioned it again. But it was, at the time, it felt like a massive setback because you've had these couple of weeks you have a whole 2 weeks of bedding in and getting used to it, and suddenly this avoidable moment had happened. But I just don't, I'm a very direct person, and if I've made a mistake, I'm happy to go, "Yep, my fault, blame me as much as you want, let's crack on and fix it." And I like other people to be like that, and sometimes they're not, they're right. So I'm like, okay, but don't flip this on me. They just come to me and gone, "Oh, this is our mistake, sorry." I'd be like, "No worries."
Because it all matters so much to the kids, doesn't it? That's the thing. It does. Like, it means so much to them. Like, to you, it's just a couple of minutes here and there, or to the school, they've seen it a million times before. But to your boy in that moment, it's the world, isn't it? It's everything is focused on that. So it's not a nice experience. It's the
biggest thing ever. Like, it's so much. You feel like when they go to school, you're sort of learning again how to experience life through them. It's quite wild, really. Like, they see the world with such more sense of excitement and discovery.
I know.
Like, he's really happy he's made his couple friends, and it's just a bigger, like, we went for a little coffee with his new friends and their mum after school on Friday, and like, they'd been together all day, and then they've been playing for like an hour in this coffee shop. And when we said we're leaving, they're like, "I don't want to leave him. I don't want to leave him." You're like, oh my God, they're literally best pals after a week. And that energy, you just don't get that as an adult.
Mate, it's terrifying, isn't it? Do you know, I've had it a little bit myself, where I've just been a bit dismissive. Not dismissive, it's not quite the right word. It makes me sound awful. Just not necessarily appreciating the severity of things that matter to her.
Yeah.
So at her school, she's in a house. They've got houses, like various houses. And she now, as she's in year 2, which is the top year of pre-prep, it's the first, like, it's the oldest of the youngest kids.
Yeah, before primary school.
Yeah, so she can now be house leader, house captain.
Okay.
And she kind of went, "Oh, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have to like put my pitch forward for being a house captain." And I was normal, but I kind of went, "Oh, good luck with that." but then didn't necessarily anticipate quite how much it meant to her.
Of course.
Like, for her to be house captain, I didn't give it the diligence.
Is it something that she like? Does everyone have to do that, or she actually wants to do that?
You can apply for various roles.
A nominee or
yeah,
whatever.
playground monitor. You can be whatever you want to be.
Right.
But I think house captain and vice captain are very coveted, highly coveted.
Big deal, mate.
So she really wants it. I didn't necessarily give it. And, she's been working on a speech that she's going to deliver. And the speech is like presidential. She goes, and together we can do great things. And at the end of the speech, like she's in Ennis Hill, as in Jessica Ennis Hill, who's an icon, right? She goes, together we can do great things. When I say Ennis, you say Hill. Ennis, right? That's the end. That's the end of the speech. No, I think her and Victoria kind of worked on it. But I didn't commit. She was like, she couldn't understand why I couldn't understand that this is the most important thing in the world. But I've done something amazing.
What have you done?
You ready for this?
Yeah. What have you done?
Are you okay? I didn't anticipate this happening. Something amazing has happened. You ready?
So she's got to publicly speak this whole speech.
She's got to deliver it to...
At what,
first,
6 years old?
At 6. She's got to deliver it first to her class and one of the teachers. And then you go through... It's like going to judges' houses and then you deliver it to the school.
Thing is, having met Clementine, I think she'll smash it, to be honest. She's got a bit about her.
So I felt a bit guilty because I didn't acknowledge that it really mattered. Check this out.
Hey Clementine, it's Jess here. I just wanted to wish you the best of luck in your quest to becoming the captain of the Ennis Hill House. I'm sure you'll be captain in no time.
She's got to include that in her speech. Go, look, I've got an official...
I know, what an icon, Jess.
How did you get that?
How nice.
You know some people, don't you, Rory? Well, that's very good.
But so she's now trying to be captain of Ennis Hill House.
Yeah.
And she's got a recommendation from Jessica Ennis Hill.
Give her the gig. She literally,
but,
that's...
Do you know why I've gone to all of this trouble? And it really has. I've put a lot of people out to try and secure this. Because I didn't initially...
Yeah. And now you did.
And now I did.
That's great. That is conscious parenting, I would say, because we can't always get it right the first time. But you're aware that maybe there was a little, like we all do, a little, probably just caught up in your own stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I was kind, but I wasn't involved. I was, good luck. I've got to go and do this.
Did Victoria or anyone pointing that out to you? Did you just come to that conclusion yourself?
I saw it. It was actually worse. I would have far rather Clementine didn't notice and Victoria went, Rory, come on.
Yeah.
I saw Clementine full of enthusiasm run up to the car when I pulled up outside the house and with her speech and went, I'm going to try and be captain of Ennis Hill. And I was on the phone at the time working. I was talking to somebody via this building, in fact, and I was just like, okay, and I kind of saw her sink. I was like, no, that is so poor. She came bounding over, like honestly, like a little puppy dog, like a Labrador, bounding over. This is my speech. I've been working on it. Do you want to hear it? And I went.
They want to tell you everything because they love you. They look up to you. Yeah, it's impossible to get that stuff right every time. But I do think what you did is as good as you can hope for. You recognised it and did something amazing.
And I'm going to send it to the teacher who, at the end of her speech, will hopefully play it in.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's serious weaponry you put in the corner there, like helping your kids with the homework type energy. But I'm here for it. I was actually doing some homework with my little... I mean, he's 4 and he's getting homework. That's new. I did not get homework at 4.
I know.
And it's all online now. You do it on paper, but you got to upload it to Google Classroom or whatever. It's just like, got to plug in the AI.
Yeah.
Might as well just give up.
No, it is really hard. It's the level of homework.
Yeah.
I think the education system has massively improved from when I was young.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how you look at it. Really. Like, my view is like, because this stuff we were doing, we were talking super basic. It's like practice the letters. So it's like practice the S's and the A's and practice saying them, all these sort of things. But I'm like, why aren't they doing that in school? And they are obviously doing it in school, and this is further practice. But I never needed homework at that age to learn that stuff. I learned multiplication, same school. Yeah. You know, times tables. I'm very good at mental arithmetic, and I still remember the lessons when I learned it at that school. Never practiced it. And you did it. You do homework when you're a bit older, of course. But anyway, it's interesting how it's kicking on. But I'll tell you something that happened last night that kind of... I messaged Alex about it. She's away. It kind of broke my heart, but also made me really proud. It kind of links to what you were saying about how happy they are to tell you stuff and do things. So obviously, as we've discussed, Alex's dad passed away a few months ago. And we've got this thing where... Because he's talking about it a lot. There's a couple of things that have happened, actually. The other day, we're coming back from jiu-jitsu. And he fell asleep in the car. So I go to wake him up at the end. And as I'm waking him up, my dad pulls in because we're going to football, as he often does. So I'm trying to wake him up, and they're just completely out. And usually I'll say stuff like, oh, you don't want any cake then? And this time I go, oh my God, your granddad's here.
Oh, no.
And I even said, Granddad Stevie's here. So he knows which one. And he wakes up, and this is literally the first thing he says from his slumber. He goes, Daddy, it's so sad that my granddad's not alive anymore. And I was like, oh my God. And it just makes you think they're thinking about it. He's thinking about that in his unconscious sleep at 4 years old.
Yeah.
Most of the other time he's talked about it, it hasn't been sad. It's been asking questions about heaven and all these things. We were reading this book called Monkey King, and it's like a really famous, there's a film of it on Netflix that he's seen. This is why he likes the book. The book I'm reading, I bought for myself. It's like a biblical text. It's like not for kids, and he's just listening to me read it. And I think it's really good for him. There's nothing dangerous in there, but there's a lot of concepts about deities and heaven, because this Monkey King is this sort of celestial figure. He's going in and out of heaven, and he's like, but Daddy, so if you go to heaven, like, can you die again? Because obviously Monkey King's in these battles with other gods and stuff. And I'm like, no, Monkey King's going to heaven because he's sort of different to us and he can do that. And he's like, but what about Granddad? Like, can he die again? All this sort of thing. And I'm talking to him about it. So I tried to try and lighten the mood a bit. And I think I've told you before about this thing I do with them where I tell them about little tricks where I'm like, I'm going to leave parts of myself in these places. So if anything ever happens to me, you can go to this place. Because I've consciously said that to him. Whether you believe in the mysticism or not, just the idea of saying it to him means that when he goes to that place, same concept as a grave, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have some sort of connection to that place and feel some sort of energy. So there's this light switch in our bedroom en suite that we had an issue with, like the light wasn't working, and Chris, my father-in-law, was fixing it for us because he's a very hands-on guy. And it's never really worked since. He didn't break it, but it just never, it was like funny, he couldn't quite get it to work. And now it flickers constantly. We haven't got around to fixing it. So I was like, now me and Alex got this thing, when it flickers, we're like, oh, it's Chris trying to speak to us, because he's the one that did it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll tell my boy about that. So I say to him, when I tell you about how I'm going to leave a bit of myself behind, Granddad left a bit of himself behind so he could talk to you. And if you ever want to see him or speak to him, and connect to him, you can do it in our ensuite bathroom, because every time the light flickers, it's him talking to us.
That's a nice. Yeah.
So he was like, show me. So I was like, I went, here's how all the other lights work. And I showed him all the other lights are on, off, normal. Watch what happens when I go to the bathroom. Like, it's straight on cue. I click it on and it goes. Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
I'm like, Granddad. Oh yeah. How are you, Granddad? Oh, okay. Yeah, we love you, Granddad. Oh, he loves us. Have you got anything you want to say to Granddad? And he's just eyes light up and he goes, Granddad. I made a friend at school. And then he's telling about his whole day. And I was like, oh my God, I almost started crying.
Yeah, it's nice.
Because you're like, it's all silly.
He's found his place of how to communicate, keep the relationship alive.
So some would argue there's maybe, obviously it's not, well, it depends what you believe really, doesn't it? But it's not real. But at the same time,
he's 4.
At the same time, is that not a good way of him coping with it all?
Also, like him, it not being real doesn't mean that it isn't valuable.
Exactly.
Like we can all have our connections. I have a connection to things that aren't real. Yeah. I know I rationalize that it's not real, but it still helps me.
Yeah, perception is reality, isn't it?
If
you see it as real and it helps you, I think that's all that matters. And I know that one day he'll understand that is not. But I actually, with this one, it's fabricated, right? Because obviously Chris didn't consciously do that with us. It was just something he was working on for us. But with my stuff, when I take him to a place and I walk around an area, I say, I am going to be here. Like, almost like Mufasa in the clouds. Inside, like, things that he understands. Like, if you come here and you want to talk to me one day, if I'm not, because obviously, hopefully this is a long, long time away, but you never know, right?
No,
so if I'm conscious about this now and he can understand it, if something was to happen to me, there's something there. I do actually believe in there's some sort of truth to that. If I say to you, Rory, whatever happens, mate, when you go to Pret,
you think of me,
that's
mate.
Our little place.
Yeah.
And you think of me. What will happen when you go to that Pret?
Every time.
You will.
Every
that's
time.
the real thing.
Yeah. Also, places. I think everybody gets their thing, don't they? Where they reminisce. I really do feel that. That sense of nostalgia.
Yeah.
What's it called? Not rendezvous. What's it called?
Oh, deja vu.
Yeah. I really do feel that with places.
It's incredible.
When I go to a certain place, I can always remember. Like important phone calls.
Yeah.
I'll always know where I was when I took that call, when I heard that.
Music's like that too.
Music is so poignant.
That's why it's so powerful for people with things like Alzheimer's and stuff as well. It can bring them back to life.
Yeah.
Or dementia or whatever.
There's a scene in a film.
The Notebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
Don't know what day it is, don't know who anyone is, and then hears a song and starts crying.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, it breaks your heart.
I know. And it's powerful stuff, man. It's powerful stuff. We've got a few things we want to react to. Rochelle Humans of Saturdays, of many TV shows, very talented lady. Essex girl, by the way.
Is she?
Half the Saturdays were Essex girls, if you're wondering.
That's exactly what I was wondering.
Frankie Bridge now.
Frankie.
Essex.
Yeah.
Wayne Bridges, Mrs.
Oh, Frankie, yeah.
Essex, mate. Anyway, enough about Essex. So Rochelle Humes obviously got kids with Marvin, I believe, of JLS fame. That's a power couple if I've ever heard of one.
Not my second favourite member of JLS. After Aston.
Aston also.
He could do a backflip.
Yeah, Aston was good. And there's another guy. He's actually gone on a TV show this week with Danny Aarons. I think he's called JB potentially.
Or
He's gone on some.
it would be JB or Orishe, just demonstrating my huge knowledge of JLS.
Well, I didn't know the fourth one. I'm sorry, but I can picture him. On a complete side note, I was telling someone this the other day at a wedding, and I think I'm right in thinking. Do you know what JLS stands for?
Yeah, I do.
Tell me what you think.
I do know.
I will say it at the same time.
Hang on. I do
We'll
know
say
this.
it at the same
if
time.
you say it, I'll know it.
Right, 3, 2, 1. We'll say what we think it is. 3,
No,
2,
I
1.
can't. Go on.
Jack the Lad Society.
No, I didn't know.
That's what I was told.
No,
Jack the Lad
it isn't
Society.
that, is it?
Well, that's what I was told, and that's what I told other people.
And is
I
it
hope
that?
it's true. Can we Google it?
No, it can't be. It can't be that. Mate, one of the fellas, I think he was from Fulham.
Oh, okay. So I'm not far
Jack
off.
the
It's
Lad
Jack the Lad.
Swing.
Yeah, okay. I was worried it was going to be something completely different then.
Yeah.
Jack
They did
the
have
Lad Swing.
their
I mean, that's
moments.
worse, by the way. Jack the Lad Swing is worse than
Mate,
Jack Lad Society.
They did have their moments. They were good.
Oh, powerful
Yeah.
group of. And they,
Beat
you know what I say
Again
they
was
are?
a banger.
They are, and I mean this with nothing but respect, and it's the same for the Saturdays potentially in a lot of these bands, greater than the sum of their parts.
Yeah,
That's what a good band is for me.
yeah.
When you get these people that are clearly almost too talented to be in a band, it never really works. But when you get a band, they're like, no, actually, as a single
quite average.
singer, but as a group,
Yeah.
you know.
What's your favourite Saturday song?
Where do I start? I mean, my favourite album is probably the best of the Saturdays.
They did have one banger that I can remember. Do you remember
I
when
liked them. I did like them.
Go. Do you remember that? It's time to make a move and we both know. Do you remember?
Yeah, loosely. I mean, I'll be honest. I fancied Frankie when I was a kid, for sure. She was a bit of me.
Yeah,
but
Frankie,
also Rochelle, actually. Rochelle, yeah,
exceptionally good looking.
but talented as well. Let's not get away from it.
Yeah, talented as well.
Yeah,
Let's not
let's
get away from that.
Talented human beings, not.
But
No.
why are you talking to me about
Anyway,
the Saturdays and
That is
JLS?
a proper. Should we move on? Rochelle, Frank, if you're watching, that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Girls. Forget it. I know
Also,
you're interested,
Aston.
but forget
If
it.
I ever met Aston, I would be so impressed. Not only was he involved in Beat Again, which was a banger, but the geezer could just backflip.
Yeah,
Like,
backflipping is
if
cool.
I could just backflip, I would just do it down the street.
My nephews can backflip. Right
just
now.
literally
They're-
standing still and backflip.
It's like speed. It's what he does. Backflips and barks.
Yeah, he can backflip.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Aston was the original backflipper.
I'm on for the original, but
Aston ran so that speed could walk, or whatever that saying is.
the other way around.
Other way round.
Aston backflipped so Speed could bark.
Yeah, there we go, man. There we go. Amazing.
Anyway, does Speed know who Aston from JLS is? That's the question. Speed,
Of
if
course
you're
he does.
watching.
The original backflipper.
Rochelle, this is what we're talking about. So Rochelle Humes admits that her 12-year-old daughter
Oh.
is getting bullied at school
Oh.
and says it's difficult to watch. She said this on her own podcast. We've obviously, we talk about our kids in the same way on this show. Rochelle added that she wasn't a victim of bullying herself, but her daughter's definitely going through a touch of that at the minute. And so it's difficult and so hard to watch, but also knowing exactly how to parent through it. But she's also getting criticism now, Rochelle, because they're saying, look, by saying that,
Yeah.
you've been in the public eye, you're like giving them ammunition to bully her more.
What I was going to say is it's very awkward for the parents of the kids involved, the parents of the kids in the school,
Oh, yeah,
who
yeah,
perhaps aren't the bully, will now be hearing that, thinking, what is going on?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you do about it. I think there's probably a middle ground where if you're a person in the public eye, and obviously Rochelle does mainstream TV as well,
Yeah.
there's maybe ways you can talk about the subject without necessarily implementing your children into it. But at the same time, I just think if you're a child of a famous person, and I don't agree with this, but it comes with the territory, so to speak. It comes with the territory. I'm watching that, and I know you'll love this because you love him, the Matchroom documentary on Netflix at the moment.
Yeah,
Eddie Hearn and that. So Eddie Hearn went to the same school as my brother, same school as Frank Lampard and all that. He clearly has a chip on his shoulder from being Barry Hearn's son, and that's probably made him the man he is in many ways. And he's always getting claims of nepotism and all this stuff against him. Like
That often happens though. They often inspire, like Frank Lampard. Lampard, who's also from the same neck of the woods, weirdly.
the same school.
Frank
Same school.
Lampard obviously rose to the very top, partly because he had to eclipse his dad.
Well, I think I'm right in saying that Frank and Eddie were in the same year at the same school. But
that will inspire you. Like Lampard did the same celebration that his dad did at Wembley. Did it 30 years later.
it goes one or two ways. I think more often than not, it doesn't go that way. And
Or you end up Callum Best.
they just get lazy, don't they? They just get
Callum
lazy,
Best,
entitled, and that's a reflection on the parent more than the child. So it's your job as the parent to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And even Eddie talks about it or his dad talks about it, Barry, in the doc. He sort of says, like, if I saw a bit of that coming out, like, I actually listened to another pod of him the other day, and he basically took him. I'm not saying I agree with this.
This is Barry you're talking about.
Yeah, Barry saw he was getting a bit big for his boots, took him into a ring and had a boxing match with him.
Did he?
When he was like 16. And that's something that happened to my granddad as well when he was much younger than 16. I'm not saying I would do that or agree with that, but my equivalent of that, for example, is my boy gets quite cocky now with it when he's going to do jiu-jitsu and that. But he'll be like interacting with his cousins who are a bit older, and he doesn't realise his cousins are going very easy on him.
Yeah.
But he's going around hitting them properly. So I'll say to his cousins, hit him back. Like don't hurt him.
Yeah.
But like, if he punches you, don't just let him punch you, because he's going to do that to someone else.
Do you know what though? It will equalise at school.
Yeah.
It will equalise at school because he will try and do something similar at school, and the children at school won't extend the same courtesy.
You just don't want.
To him.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. I want him to have a less rude awakening with someone that is looking out for him, not with someone that doesn't want to help.
No, I agree. I think it's a very interesting thing, like nepotism. It's a very interesting thing what we do for our children to make sure that they're the best that they can be. And you are right. For every Frank Lampard who used what his father did and took him to another plane, for every Eddie Hearn, you know what Eddie Hearn has turned Matchroom into.
Yeah.
You know, Barry Hearn certainly laid the foundations. Frank Lampard Sr. certainly laid the foundations, and were both great men in their own right. Their children have taken it to a completely different level.
Yeah, I think that, you know, I would be really keen at some point to get someone on this pod who is a child of a famous person. Yeah. You know, whether they're in the public eye themselves or not. I know a few people in this situation. And because I'm not sitting here saying that that's what we are in terms of our lives and our kids, but it is certainly something I've thought about with regards to, like, you know, my audience has sort of grown up with me now, so I don't think it's as relevant. But if, for example, I was making content that a lot of people that my kids' age are going to watch in the future, I would like someone like Billy Wingrove, for example, who's a fat pal of ours. He is making content for that sort of audience. His kids go to those schools. His kids are in the content. That has got to be a minefield. Like, think about how you approach that. And then when you're in like Rochelle's position, I know this is quite unrelatable for people that aren't in this space themselves, but it is a really interesting conundrum.
But we're
just
quite
like
lucky.
She's trying to talk about parenting, but she's implicitly implying stuff about her kids.
Do you think it's harder for somebody like Rochelle and her husband, Marvin? Do you think it's harder for them because they are mainstream famous? Like they are like my mum would know who they are. My mum doesn't know somebody who we would consider to be really famous.
I think the question in this case is more the kids, isn't it? It's the kids that are going to actually affect your child's life at school. So it's like, do the kids know what's going on? Do the kids, like, that's why we talked about in this pod before. That's why I thought the whole JJ and Wayne Bridge stuff was in such poor taste, because so many of JJ's audience will literally be going to school with Wayne Bridge's kids, and they will literally take what he said and say it to them at school.
Yeah,
Rochelle,
he did well there, Wayne. He just walked away from it.
Yeah. But you could argue Rochelle, like, she's getting critical. I wouldn't criticize her for this personally at all. I think she's being vulnerable. She's asking for help in a way. But the people watching Rochelle are most likely parent age, and less likely the kids are going to see that.
Yeah, it's an awful dilemma. In fact, you know, when you think about parenting and all of the arduous terrain that we have to navigate, it's probably on the scale of it not being the worst thing, which is, you know, if everybody's healthy, it's the worst thing.
Yeah.
Like being bullied at school, you're powerless. Up until that point, probably every problem that your child has had, you have been the port of call. You have been the answer. You have been the solution. Suddenly, there's literally nothing. In fact, all you can really do as a parent is make it worse. Well, you go in there and start throwing your weight around. As soon as you're out of the room, it's going to go.
It all depends on your kid's personality, I think. And a lot of that is they're born with, right? So what I'm trying to do, and I know I'm a bit of a broken record here, but I'm just trying to arm them with the skills. Because I can think of kids, I never, go back to jiu-jitsu and shit and stuff like that again, right? But I never knew any of that. I never did any of that at school. And I was a quick mouth. So I learned if you come for me, I'm going to embarrass you in front of the whole class because I'll be funnier. And that's ultimately why I ended up doing things like stand-up and that, because I accidentally honed that skill as a self-defense mechanism, right? But I know in hindsight now, if I had a certain level of physical confidence in myself, I probably would have been a completely different person. I'm not to say that I'd been better or worse, but it would have developed a different personality.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because you and I are now viewing this issue that's been brought to the fore by Rochelle. We're viewing it through a very different lens, because you're viewing it saying, this is how I would defend it, and it's potentially via humour or it's potentially via
she
strength.
doesn't want her daughter.
I'm looking at it through I think you actually over the course of this podcast we've debated who has a harder job, and I always think boys are harder to bring up, but in this very specific conversation, I think it's far harder for girls.
Well,
If
girls can
Clementine
be-
ends up in a situation where she's being bullied, I'll tell you what else would be painful, Spence. Imagine being in a situation where how much torment it would be if your child were the bully. Like,
Yeah.
if you're the parent
You
of
got to cut that out.
if you're the parent of the child who Rochelle is alluding to, what on earth do you say to your children? What on earth do you say to Rochelle? What on earth have you done?
And I don't know. I have so little experience with girls in that sense. Like, I've never had a sister. I've never really been around young girl children. I don't even know how to approach that. I know from people's stories and things that girls can be quite cutting, quite mean.
No,
whereas,
we've seen the shows, haven't we? Alicia Silverstone and all that.
Mean
Remember?
Girls.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, do you know it's? I mean, Victoria is incredibly kind-hearted. Like her natural approach to life is through like total sympathy for people, like total empathy all the time. And while it's not always a great quality in every aspect, I think it's a fantastic quality in parenting.
Yes. Well, certainly if you've got a partner that can yin and yang.
Yeah,
I
me.
think that's good energy. Like, I just go back to, we only know what we've seen from our own experiences, right? There was a lad in my year who was a good footballer, played in the school team, but he was not an outgoing guy. He was not extrovert. He didn't make friends, really, right? But there's two things everyone knew about him. He was good at football.
It's enough often.
And he knew martial arts.
No, it's
And
definitely
no
enough.
one messed with this kid ever.
But one of those two is generally
One of them
enough.
is probably enough, yeah. But it was one of these things where he had a naturally introverted personality. I don't think doing martial arts and football is going to change that. I think to an extent, you're born with like a set of attributes and you can be the best version of those things or the worst version.
I agree.
And our job as parents is to maximize those attributes for our kids, I think, and allow them to find their own life. But if you have a base level of skill, even if you are an introvert, even if you're someone that looks a certain way or behaves a certain way that is like number one target for bullies are also fairly logical in who they pick their targets.
No, they're bullies.
And they will not pick the strong target.
Yeah.
So give your kids whatever their personality, that level. And if they are outgoing and extrovert, then you probably do have to worry about them becoming the bully.
Do you know what I've just thought there, though? Which I didn't anticipate this conversation. I never really thought about it this way. When you talk about bullying, you always kind of view the victim of the bully as the victim. The sympathy lies there.
Yeah, the bully's got problems too.
The bully,
Yeah.
but also the parents of the. I'm assuming though that there are just going to be some awful people and that does exist. But if you're a good parent and somehow and you've done your best and you try and teach your kid to be kind and sympathetic and empathetic and generous, and suddenly you get the feedback that your kid is bully or is showing off or being violent, it would be like, what the hell?
So disappointing, wouldn't it? So disappointing. I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself here because it's very early days still, but there was a moment yesterday, we're coming out of school and I'm with this new lad who's my boy's sort of best friend at the new school, new friend, and his mum. We're walking home and they're sort of play fighting a lot and they're doing all these bits, and his new pal is quite not grabby, but he always wants to hold his hand, pull him around. Yeah. And my boy's sort of letting him, and I'm reminding, because he's trying to get off at one point, I'm reminding him of this jiu-jitsu technique you do, which is a complete self-defense technique. Someone grabs your arm, you bend your elbow like that and pull away, and it's a really good way. If you didn't get taught it, you'd never think it works, but it works, trust me. So I was like, oh, do that thing, and he gets away. And then this kid, his eyes light up, and he's like, I want to know that. Yeah. And they start having this, so I'm doing this little impromptu jiu-jitsu lesson with them. And what I would say, so they're wrestling on the floor, and the other lad's quite a big lad, and he's being a bit, not rough, but friendly rough. So I just go to my boy, get him in mount. And he puts him down, sits on top of him, and his mum is super impressed. She goes, how do you know how to do that? I'm like, this boy's trained how to do that. Yeah. The best thing about jiu-jitsu is...
This boy is trained.
No, but the best thing about jiu-jitsu is, you have to let them do it to you. Yeah. It's a quid pro quo relationship. Right. You need training partners because they're going to let you do stuff to practice, and you have to let them do it back to you. So I just go, right, you get down, let him do it to you. And he just gets down straight away, lets him do it.
That's just how
and
it works.
And he at 4 is coaching him. He at 4 is going, no, move your leg there, do this. And I'm like, my job's half done.
Yeah, that is cool.
As long as he doesn't go too far with this. Yeah. And in 5 minutes, I had a massive crash down to earth. Where I was like, okay, there's a lot of work to do. They're getting really excited. We're about to go separate ways, trying to get into my car. I don't know what, he's a little bit of a nutter, my kid. He runs up to my car and he goes, how dare you, car, and kicks the car. And I was like, what's going on here? But then his pal goes, oh, it's okay to kick cars. Kicks my car 3 times. And I'm like, right.
Yeah, now someone's getting tipped upside down.
You know, we've got our, yeah. You know, we've got our point system. I go to my boy, right, you lost 1 point for kicking my car and you lost 3 more for the 3 kicks he did because he only did them because he
he's
saw
probably
you did
your
it.
lead there.
So you are the problem.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh. But I was like, okay, so we've still got some work to do on the car kicking front.
But there was some good there.
The jiu-jitsu stuff was great. Honestly, it was like watching kids that figure it out. I loved it. I loved
God,
it.
that is just awful though. The only thing I've never really been particularly happy about this, but suddenly I'm rationalising it in a different way, which is Clementine is a wimp. A wimp. Genuinely, there was a fair near us, and some kid, like a little bit older than her, a girl, but also had a bit more front than her, just like pushed in front of her in the line. Like she's in the queue to go in the haunted house, a kid just pushed in front. And I'm looking at Clementine going,
you can do something about that.
What? Are you having that? Clementine's like, looked at the girl, she's like, that's fine. I was like, okay. Now we've got some work to do.
Thing is, but there's a certain size person that you'd also go there. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd quite like the principal to be not one of violence. Like I'd like her to say, if it were an adult, excuse me, I was here first.
Yeah.
Like not starting trouble, just excuse me, I was here first.
Well, I think the concept.
Also,
Clementine's probably familiar with it now, but the concept of queuing is even quite hard to explain to kids. You're like, no, we just sit here and we wait.
Yeah.
And they're like, but we could just go there. I'm like, I know, but we don't really do that.
I know. It's very funny, those things. Sharing is something that Clementine just couldn't get her head around either.
Yeah.
All those things that they kind of do, they do fall into place.
It's all part of the life's rich tapestry, as we say. Speaking of which, this next one's pretty sad. So something that our producer Saffron found on Reddit. It's titled, I found my late dad's diary and his note inside changed my opinion of him. So essentially, I've had a look at this, and it's this lad lost his dad to a heart attack. He's quite young. He's 58, the dad. And it sounds like the dad was quite a stoic, caring, but not overly emotional or... what's the word when you're touchy-feely? Can't think of the word. Tactile parent. Essentially, when this guy died, years later, this boy found a diary from his dad, and he said it changed his whole perception of his dad. And I think this is beautiful, but also tragic.
Go on.
Because it's clear that the dad loved the boy so much, but he really struggled communicating that in his lifetime. Maybe he was planning on doing it when he was later, and 58 is incredibly early to pass away, of course. But, there was stuff in there about that the dad lost his job at one point and he had a diary. His diary went back all to when he first told the mum that he loved her, like way before the kid's life. And there's stuff in there about, how he felt like he was letting them down as a parent when he got laid off from his job in 98. There's stuff in there. It's beautiful, really. It's like how he'd stand outside the boy's door when he was a baby to make sure he's breathing. We've all done that. We've done that, right? And there's like dropping him off.
A mirror. I used to do a mirror to see if there was breath.
Yeah. Or you put your ear like really close to them. And there's stuff like, when he dropped him off at college for the first time, how he cried the dad cried the night before because he was so sad to be losing his son to adulthood. And then when he dropped him off at college, he waited outside until he saw the light turn off or turn on or whatever, and he knew he'd be okay. But it's quite emotionally written. It's quite beautiful in its vulnerability from the dad, but juxtaposed with the fact that he never
said it,
spoke like this to the son. So his whole concept of his dad changed. Yeah. And I think it is incredibly sad, to be honest. It's lovely that the dad felt that way, of course. And I think we all do. I hope we all do. I've got a friend who I won't name who is going through a very, very hard time with his dad, and the whole family are. And, the dad is... ostensibly a wrong un, to be honest. Like, it's just not very hard to put it any other way. And there's many, many things that have gone in their lives. Would be the perfect opportunity for this man to show how much he loves them, say all the right things, respond to the emotions shown to him in the positive way, and he never does it. And, he's brought up a different generation, different energy, whatever. But when I talk to my friend about this, and I say to him, like, look, be honest with you, I can't relate to the way your dad is behaving. Because if my son ever said to me the things that you're saying, I would break down in tears. Like if I felt that I'd made him feel that way, or I'd do so much to try and fix that. And there's no world where that would ever change. So this dad is clearly cut from the same cloth as us in the emotions he feels. But unlike us, perhaps, he couldn't ever demonstrate that.
Yeah, I know. And it really is so important. Do you know, I'm actually having it a bit with Clementine at the moment. Do you know what? I don't know why. I don't know if it's out of vulnerability or being cool or what. She won't say I love you, and I don't force her to, because then it's just a word, isn't it? Then you're not saying something that you feel. Then you're saying something that you're being told to say.
Yeah.
So there's no point in me encouraging her to say it beyond simply encouraging her to say it. If you feel it, say it. If you don't feel it, but there's certainly not a vulnerability to it. But the lesson I'm trying to teach her with regards to saying that, it isn't necessarily about saying I love you. It's about just being honest with people, making sure that the people who matter to you know that they matter.
It's really important.
Making sure that the people who you do love know that you love them.
Yeah. Especially when, I know it sounds a bit morbid, but you get to our age. I mean, I've talked already, a couple of people close to me this year passed away. You know, it's happening more and more. People I'm connected to, people I'm sort of somewhat connected to. It's only going to increase.
No, I know.
And that is the nature of the
terrible.
beast. So like, it just saddens me so much. There's people out there that feel certain feelings and can't communicate them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think I have the opposite problem. I think I communicate too much of my feelings.
Do you do that with your family though? Like, do you make sure that Alex is told how much you love her and appreciate her?
Oh no, so there's two things I'd say. So with the kids, I'm very good on that, I'd say, and with Alex, I'm very good at like saying it back. I probably don't start it enough, like, and be the first person to do that. And I try and be better at that. And it's not because I don't feel those things. It's part of this, I guess. It's just not a natural inclination for me. But I'm very, very confident that Alex is well aware of the way I feel. This lad was not aware that his dad had these emotions. That's the sad thing about it. But what I am good at, I would say, if good is the right word, because it's an annoying trait for a lot of people, is I'm good at having the awkward conversations. So like if I, for example, someone said something about a friend of mine behind their back, I would just go and tell them, say, I was part of a conversation where this was said about you. I might even share the same opinion about you, but I won't say it over there. I'm going to tell you. Or I'd say, like, you know, I can see a problem coming in this relationship in the future. I could, with a friend or whatever, I can sit here and paper over the cracks. But I know in 5 years it means we're not going to be mates anymore. Yeah. Because that's what happens when you get older. Yeah. So I'd rather say all the things that mean we either elevate to great friends or we stop being friends. Yeah. Because I don't want the time wasters. Alex said it to me the other day. She saw some quote on Instagram. She said to me, it said something like, people who know the true value of friendship don't usually have a lot of friends. As in, they only have a few. Yeah. Being a true friend is actually a lot of work. Kind of like a partner is.
Funny enough,
she said that's me. She said, I don't want superficial relationships.
Yeah, which I don't think is a bad thing. What it should mean, and I think it does. As a friend of yours, I certainly would agree that this is how you approach it. It does mean that the people that you are friends with know the loyalty is there and whatever else. Yeah, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. There's a handful of people in my life that I would go, I think, very far to do things for, further than most. But the price of that is they have to deal with me on a daily basis.
Then they have to weigh up, is it worth it?
Yeah, sometimes they do go, leave it. Fair enough. But yeah, I hope any dads listening to this, I think that most of the people listening to this are probably of our generation, you know, or younger, and probably better at this stuff. Not all, and I think it's got to be.
Yeah, I think it's got better through the generations. I don't 100%. Think much has got better through the generations, but I do think openness and openly telling the people that you love them and being warm and
for dads specifically.
Because
there was so much more work to be done there.
Yeah, but even if you think, like, I've seen a picture of my great grandmother. And honestly, you know that Victorian thing where they all stand next to each other and they're totally upright? Yeah. Like, you know when I have a picture with Clementine, Victoria, Pandora, we're like that, all like one big thing. And you see it all the time now. Like, I think it's really muggy, but you know when people do the, like, all in the onesies together. It is beautiful as well. Like, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. But I also think...
What was that picture I sent you, me and my boy, on that festival we went to in the...
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah,
I think I'm not going to do that every day, but like every now and then.
No, at Christmas good. When people do it.
Yeah.
And if I had a son, do you know, the only reason why I wish I had a son, like there's only one reason. I'd like to do this thing. You know those beautiful swimming trunks, Vilbruquin? You can do this.
I've never heard of them.
Okay, well, next holiday you go on, treat yourself. Right, pop into the West End. Right,
can I get them online?
No.
Can't get them online.
You definitely can't.
I'm sure you can.
They don't sell them online.
That's not true.
It's 100% true.
There's nothing that's not sold online, is there?
I'm convinced. Right, you go down to Piccadilly. You walk down Piccadilly. So it's a lovely experience anyway.
You've already lost me.
Opposite Fortnum and Masons.
Yeah.
Right, just as you go through one of those arcades, one of those like incredibly beautiful Burlington Arcade. Within the Burlington Arcade, which is like a wonderful experience in itself. You know, people having their shoes shined. It's like wicked. There is a swimming trunk shop called Vilbruquin.
When we say trunks, are we talking budgie smugglers?
No.
You've already lost.
Short.
Good. Well, I'm fine.
But this is the only reason I want a son. You could buy your pair, and they will be identically. You could get your sons in the same. So like the three of you
It's the most
could all be
rogue
on
reason
holiday.
for having a son I've ever
That's
had
why I
in my
want a
life.
son. Because you can get wicked swimming trunks and you can all wear the same ones.
Stop saying trunks because I'm picturing you in
What
like
are they
really
called?
tight
Swimming shorts. Swimming shorts.
I mean, it's lovely. You could do that with other things. You do that with, you wouldn't obviously, but you could do that with a Chelsea shirt, or you could do that with, you know,
I'd do it with swimming trunks.
you could do it with a nice penguin top. Or
I'll tell you who was
whatever.
doing it on holiday. I noticed. I was on holiday and Teddy Sheringham was there. He and his boy had the Vilbrequins
Did they?
on.
This
Yeah.
is where you get your inspiration from.
Yeah. it was
What's
very
the word I
cool.
was thinking of when you were talking about this experience? You're such a what's the word? Something man.
Sexy.
Renaissance man. You're such a Renaissance man.
Not
aren't
sexy?
You? Well, no, I won't use those words.
A Renaissance man. Yeah, I can take that. Do you know what I've got? I've got my own dad diary for you. I need some.
Have you?
I have. I genuinely do.
But for your life,
It's happening. It's a real time problem.
let's go.
It's a real time.
By the way, that last dad diary was literally a dad diary. It was about a diary of a dad.
Yeah, absolutely. I have my own one that I was going to talk to you about, and this is happening now. So today is Thursday. On Sunday, I have managed to get hold of some very expensive Oasis tickets at Wembley.
Is it still going, Oasis?
They're doing 2 extra shows. They've been on a tour. They've been over to New York. They're coming back to do 2 bonus Wembley shows because they sold out so fast the initial sale. So they've got 2 bonus ones this weekend. I've got Sunday ones, and I made a massive mistake. So in the car, I've got a car now that I told you, I bought a new car. It's amazing, and I can go like this in the car. I go, "Hey Google, play Oasis, Slide Away," and it does, just like that. Right? It's fucking amazing. It's like witchcraft.
That's like.
Clementine has
Are you serious? That technology has been around for well over a decade.
Has it?
Yeah.
In cars?
Yes.
That was a pioneer.
Oh god, you got power steering as well.
Yeah?
Aircon.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, you're living the life of
aircon,
luxury,
The
mate.
wheel gets hot.
How many wheels has it got?
Right, it's good anyway. So Clementine started doing this. Hey Google, play Oasis, Wonderwall, play Oasis, whatever. So we started listening. I have now got these 4 tickets that were heavily priced. She has come back to I was on the phone to my mate, mentioned these tickets. Clementine's in the back of the car. She's gone, what? I've gone, oh, I might be going to Oasis on Sunday. She's gone, I want to come. I went, no. And I could see the face, when she's about to cry. I was like, okay, hang on. I do have 4. I don't need 4 either. But I was going to go.
Really want to take.
I don't know if, this is my dad diary. Can I take Clementine, who is 6, going on 7, to an Oasis gig? It is Club Wembley.
So you're seated.
You're seated. No, I wouldn't take her standing.
No.
So what she will have is she will have her own space. But what else she will have? She will be surrounded by drunks going wild.
Yeah. Including you.
So,
What I would say on that is, I think it's an open shut case.
Go on.
No, don't take her.
Really?
Personally, I don't know what you paid for these tickets.
A lot.
Right. So I don't enjoy gigs in that way anymore, but I understand, like my brother he went and it was such a big thing for him. And I know you're of that ilk, right? So this is a life memory for Rory. This is not it's not a life memory for Clementine for a number of reasons. As much as it is amazing to go and do stuff with you, and remember that there's a million things she'll do in that regard, right? She also might not ever remember this at 6, like really, she's quite young. She's a new Oasis fan. She's not going for that same nostalgia as you are. Yes, it might hurt her feelings. You come up with some reason why she can't go. Get her to. Is Victoria going?
If Victoria will go if Clementine.
Yeah, so Victoria, if she doesn't come, maybe Victoria's got to take her somewhere, or maybe it's adults only tickets or whatever. You can make it up to her a million ways. My personal belief is that your experience, and we don't get to do this a lot as dads, but this is a Rory thing. It's something you wanted to do, will be exponentially worse in this case if you take her.
Okay,
If
I
you're going
kind of
to-
agree. I certainly see where you're coming from. There is another angle. This is the equivalent of maybe they may never, they didn't play for 16 years. If they don't play for 16 years again, they probably don't ever
Thinking
play.
core memory with the kids.
Well,
with Clementine.
What Clementine? It would be the equivalent of maybe you going to see, you wouldn't have been born, but if you could have been to see the Beatles when you were 6 and your dad had an opportunity to take you to see the Beatles when you were 6. It's...
But it's amazing that she obviously likes Oasis, I guess.
Yeah.
She listens to it in the car.
She's got a guitar now as well.
Oh, that's wicked.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can plan for that, and you can say that she'll feel that way in 50 years.
No.
I think if it, like, for example, my dad always talks about, I watched England win the World Cup, right? Not in
What,
the,
in the
no, not
no.
in the stadium. On TV, I'm pretty sure. But he always talks about it.
Yeah.
It was 10 when it happened. A big moment in his life.
West Ham fan as well, so they pretend they won.
West Ham fan. I'm not even sure if he was at the time, to be fair. I don't know when he discovered West Ham. It might have been around then. But it's a big moment in his life. But it became a bigger moment because he went on having a life in football.
Yeah.
Now, if Clementine ends up being a rock chick playing in a band, she will talk forever about how fact she saw Oasis.
And
no doubt about it.
Probably inspired the. Like,
and it could.
It's not might not necessarily be true, but it's
and
a story.
I'm only going off your energy normally. You're often talking about how, like, you know, it's sometimes much fun to do stuff about the kids, which we all know is true.
Yeah.
Like, if you think you will enjoy Oasis with her there because of that core memory, then you should take her.
Yeah.
But I imagine when you bought the tickets, you weren't thinking about being daddy for the day.
Yeah, well, they've come out of nowhere. No, you're absolutely right. They've come out of nowhere. I basically put the word out that I wanted tickets, and then someone I know got in touch and was like, "Look, I've got these. You probably don't want them because of the price." But then I was like, actually, I've seen Oasis so many times, but obviously haven't seen them for 16 years. I feel like I should go, but I don't want to go in the way that I used to go. Like, I remember when I went to Finsbury Park, I went 2 consecutive days. It was, I don't think I went to bed between the 2 gigs. I'm not going to do that anymore.
No.
Barely drink it. You know, it's just going to be, I might have a pint. Like, it's not going to be the way that it would have been. So I'm deliberating it. Victoria's quite up for it. I genuinely don't know what to do. Like, I honestly don't. And
who would your 4 be if it wasn't Victoria and Clementine?
It would be 3 mates.
Like, have you got them lined up?
Well, yeah, the only problem I could have is a lot of my mates have already got tickets.
Yeah.
But I would work it out. I've got tickets to Oasis. It's not going to be, I'm not going to have to twist anyone's arm massively.
I think there's no right or wrong here. I think just do
She will be broken heart. You know, she's now gone.
But so I don't know Clementine enough to say she could be brokenhearted by not going. Could she also go there and be bored after half an hour? Because if that's a chance,
yeah,
and maybe maybe the dream is this: a mate plus Victoria and Clementine, and if it goes,
then Victoria and
DEFCON 5,
leave.
Victoria goes, I understand how important this is to you. Thank you for having us as part of it. But she's dropped off a cliff. Energy-wise, we're going to go. You stay with your pal.
You might have just solved it.
Because you got 4,
You're quite
right?
a wise man.
Well, this is what I'm here for, Rory.
You're quite a wise man.
You just need to refer to me as the Oracle from now on. No, that could be, because 4 is a nice number, right? And if you haven't got 3 mates we've already like earmarked for the tickets, get 1 pal, combo it.
That is, I think you might have hit the nail on the head. And then if it does go wrong, they can leave.
But also, imagine if it goes right and Clementine, like 2 hours in, is sitting there going like, "Oh,
Yeah.
and you're going to be looking at it and you'll be like, "Wow, lock this in the brain.
Yeah.
This is a top memory."
Yeah.
So you cover your base.
Okay. I think you've actually hit the nail.
Keep
on the
us
head.
updated
Weirdly.
on that.
We'll do. You'll know. You'll know. Basically, on Sunday, you'll see on Instagram. I'm either at Oasis with Victoria and Clementine, or I'm potentially not there, or I'm there with.
I
3
think
mates.
you'll be there and you'll be having a great time. It's just a question of who with.
Should be good.
Okay, before we leave, guys, we're going to do a final dad diary. This one's in audio form. Comes from a friend of ours.
How do people send in the audios? Just on Instagram? Just voice note us on Instagram?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So this is what this chap's done here. I'm going to play it for us now. This is from Andrew. Let's have a listen.
Hi guys, I'm a big fan of the show. I'm not a dad myself, but I've been a fan of Spencer for many years, and Rory I have a complicated relationship with. I think you're a great guy, but some of your takes on football are horrendous.
Rude.
But I'm a Rangers fan, so it doesn't affect me too much. But basically, I wanted to talk because I am currently working in education. I've been working as a classroom assistant for about 5 years. I'm currently training to be a primary school teacher, so I'm not the most experienced, but I do have a bit. And I wanted to touch on the whole debate about taking your children out of school during term time, because obviously there was very strong opinions on both sides. And as somebody that's spoken to a lot of teachers, taught in some classrooms, what I would say is, for the most part, it's very dependent on the situation. Like, if you've got a child that's attendance is very low and they're struggling, then I would say it's probably not the best idea. But for the most part, in the grand scheme of things, if you need to do that financially, then absolutely do it. And most teachers I've spoken to, well, all teachers I've spoken to about it have all said the same thing. Like, if they were able to do it, they would do the same thing. Like you said, the prices are extortionate, but like an example that I can give is one of the children that I was teaching last year went home to China for a whole month during term time. They were extremely bright, so there was no issue with them leaving. They'd be able to catch up, no problem. But you're not going to tell me that that month of their life is going to be less impactful and less educational and just less productive than going home to experience your own culture for a month. Yeah, that's where I stand on it. Sorry, Rory. But I love the show. Hope you get to hear this. And yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Nice message.
Andrew, thank you for that, mate. Nail on the head is what comes to mind for me.
Completely wrong. Completely.
You're still holding firm on this perspective.
Of course, going home to China to spend time with your family is valuable. Do it in August.
What if you can't?
You then don't do it.
You really think it's that black and white?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
You can't just take
mad.
your children out of school. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I've got a development for you. I'm doing it.
Oh,
I'm doing it. I don't just talk the talk. I walk the walk on this podcast. We're going to one of your favourite places very soon.
Where are you going?
Well, I don't really want to say it on here, but somewhere you like, 4-letter word that you like a lot.
Understood.
But I looked at the prices, mate. I am not taking them during half term. It's just ridiculous. So we're taking them the week before.
But why should you?
We're taking them the week before.
But why should you not? Why should you not play by the rules? Everyone else has to pay more.
No, they don't. They can do what I'm doing.
No, but if everyone did what you were doing, they wouldn't be cheaper then.
No, if everyone did what... exactly. And then I'll do something else. You don't follow the crowd. There's no rules that says you have to.
There are rules.
If everyone took them out a week before, I take them out 2 weeks before.
But there are rules that should apply. Rules are rules because they apply to everyone. You saying, well, they're rules for you, but I'm not playing.
No prison can
I'm not
hold
playing.
me.
I'm not playing by the rules.
Exactly
to
right.
benefit you.
We're going away for 2 weeks. We're going to do the week in the nice place, the last week of half.
Oh, I know where
term,
you're going.
and then we're going to a little just to explore the week after. So we're going to be away for half term, and the week before.
Right. So the rules of the school matter to other people, but not you. That's nice.
I don't know that they do matter to other people. And like,
Well,
we just heard from a teacher. We just heard from a teacher, a teaching assistant, is saying not only him but other teachers.
Teaching
all. Oh, okay.
Teaching assistant.
So if he's qualified,
Teaching assistant.
his opinion would change. He said he spoke to teachers and they said the same thing. Like, this is inside knowledge now. Even the people that propagate the system can no longer maintain the veil of lies.
Everybody agreed with you. When we spoke about this before, everybody agreed with you. But it's one of those things where I'm convinced I'm correct.
I'm also convinced you don't. I actually don't convinced. I'm actually not sure. I hope this is a classic Rory. I'm going to dig in and be the opposing.
Clementine has never missed a day of school.
Opposing view.
She missed half a day, and I took her in the afternoon when she had to get her ear tested. She literally hasn't.
And that's because you really hold up the rules. It's not because it's inconvenient for your life.
No, it's complete because I hold up the rules. I pay the price that you should pay. Don't I? You know that. I've been away and
should pay is debatable because
you should
could argue
pay
in a fairer world, the price wouldn't be so high in that period.
The price that you should pay is the price that is the price that's set for when your kid is available.
I think
your kid isn't available, but you're just making your kid available.
I think there's two issues, right? We've sort of discussed this before, but there's two issues. One is the cost and the sort of surge pricing, and the second is the debate of the value of a school day. So, for example, in this example from our friend here, that month in China is going to be potentially life-defining, like incredible stuff for them, especially culturally. I don't know what their connection is to their ancestry and things in China. That could be hugely powerful for them, whatever, right?
No, I'm not saying.
But then what I'm doing is
China.
But what I'm doing is literally getting a cheaper holiday.
Yeah.
Right now, I will be honest and say I'm much more firm on my decision on that because my son is not 5 yet. So he legally does not have to be in school yet. This is something that a lot of people, I think parents, are not utilising. Or maybe they are aware of, but it doesn't fit their life, which is fine as well. My son's born in their Christmas holidays, right? So he will be 5 next term. So legally, you do not have to be in school until you're 5.
Yeah, it's not about... You say other people aren't utilising it. I didn't know that. But as soon as Clementine started school, I thought it would be disruptive to pull her out. I think she needs the routine. She needs to know that you commit to something. She has her friendship circles. She doesn't want to miss out on things. And we will go on holiday when she's supposed to go on holiday.
I missed a whole term of school in year 5. I didn't not make friends because of it. I had friends. My pals would pop round my house and bring me their homework and I'd copy it and send it in.
There we go.
Look at me now.
Look at you now. No, look, mate, this is something that
You'd die on this cross.
I'm probably wrong because everybody seems to be telling me I'm wrong. But I think that the regimented approach of school I would never ever deviate from that. Honestly, I would never dream of taking Clementine out of school to go on holiday. It's so far away from my values. It's so far away.
Go on holiday, okay, fair. So, but let's say like I don't know what it would be. Let's say there's an opportunity for you, a work opportunity, but it's in such an interesting place culturally. Let's say it's 5 years from now, Clementine's a bit older or whatever. I mean, I can't speak for you and what would appeal for you, but let's say
there isn't. This doesn't exist.
Say my kids were teenagers, right? This is how I look at it. And I got an opportunity to go to the Amazon. Right, I've always wanted to go to the Amazon, and my little boy is obsessed with the Amazon. It's his favourite place in the world because I've talked to him about it. If he was old enough, say a teenager, and someone said to me, "You got to go for a month in the Amazon," I would do everything to take him with me.
Yeah,
the school term could not be less relevant. Maybe if he's about to do his GCSEs or something, then it's a little bit different. But if he's like 13, 14, it's a month of school, mate. You will not keep that kid in school. I will get him to the Amazon if he wants to go.
Yeah, again, I can't. We're kind of going over old ground.
You wouldn't do that if you
my
had this
my values on this are so different to yours.
Well, essentially, you can't. I'm not saying right or wrong, but you can't envision an opportunity that would come up that would be superior to the idea of sending them to school.
Whatever came up, it would have to chime with school holidays. Like our life revolves around
like
the school.
Someone comes along and goes, Rory, I want to send you on a mission to the moon. You've been selected. You're allowed to take your daughter to the moon.
I honestly, I can't think of anything realistic, and I don't want to go there.
They could send you to the moon because they might just not bring you back.
But I honestly can't think of anything realistic that would be powerful enough to make me want to take Clementine out of school. Look, there are things that could happen in life that she would have to miss a day of school.
Yeah.
A funeral may happen and she will have to miss a day of school. Of course, those things can happen. You can be ill, you miss a day of school. But my entire priority will be to make sure that the routine and the value of school is
what about like a really close family friend or relatives getting married?
No, we'd never.
School day.
I've just been to a wedding abroad.
But they were invited. They said we want the kids.
No, they didn't invite the kids.
If they did though,
no, of course
you wouldn't take them.
Of course not. I would never take the kid out of school. They took their kids out of school to the wedding.
Interesting.
It's just another example of me being in the minority.
Well, no, there's nothing wrong with. I will never challenge a minority view in the sense of saying it's wrong because I have a lot of minority views myself.
Do you know what as well? You know, sometimes when you have opinions and you hear other people's and you realise you're in a minority, I may then think I'm wrong. Even if I still believe what I believe, I may think I'm wrong. On this one, I honestly still feel that I'm completely correct.
Listen,
you know that thing on Twitter where people like, what makes you like this? And everyone's holding a knife at one person and the person's like, it's like this meme that goes around.
I've not seen that.
It's like a meme where like everyone's got a dagger. It's like a cartoon and the cartoon is like that. And it's like, what's your opinion that gives you this? This is it for me. Everybody disagrees.
Yeah.
Everybody. In fact, I've yet to find anybody that agrees with me.
But listen, this critical thinking is key. So
maybe that's why everyone in this country is so dumb.
There's no. This is where you lose people, Rory. You say stuff like that.
Maybe that's what it is.
You think they're dumb because they missed a day of school here or there? I think
it's endemic of a broader approach. Yeah, you can miss school. You can miss school. You can miss this. You can miss that. Have a day off work. Yeah, that's why.
I personally just think you value school way higher than it actually.
It's not only school. I'd say the same for work.
But what are they missing from going?
I'd say the same for work.
Someone goes, I want to take some unpaid leave because I've got an opportunity to go to the
unpaid leave. Unpaid leave that's kind of organised with the employer is different. But you know when people go, I've got a chesty cough, I'm going to have a day off work. I'm like, yeah, that's why no.
But we do have interesting views on this because I've had instances where I'm a bit ill and I've said to the production team, look, I'm happy to come
you're
and do
weak,
the pod.
Man.
I'm happy to do the pod, but if I make you ill, don't be angry. You're like, you should come in.
You're one of those
happens.
people, though, that's like sort of perennially ill. I bet you've got a bit of a sniffle at the moment. Something, a little bit under the weather. Yeah. I haven't been ill since 2001.
And I'm really happy for you about that. But you know what is interesting is, you know how you said your missus has something called empathy?
Yeah.
You should try it sometime.
I do. If you had legitimately had something wrong with you.
No. This is the issue you have, Rory. This is why I'm happy to challenge you on this. I was never saying I'm not coming in. I was saying if I come in and make you ill, don't be angry with me. Because I used to be that guy. When I first started work, I would be the guy, I'll never miss work. I'm so keen to show everyone. And multiple occasions I came in ill and people went mad at me. They're like, you've made me ill. I've got kids to look after. Now I'm going to make them ill. So I was like, okay, I need to be actually more thoughtful of other people. So now I'm always like, unless I'm really ill, I'll be like, I will work through it. But if it involves other people, give them a warning first.
What did we do? I can't even remember. What was the end product of this? Did we do it?
I think we swerved it and did a double episode the week after. And
did.
I think it was a good idea because I think I was quite ill that week.
Oh, yeah.
But obviously, because you don't apparently ever get ill.
Never been ill.
Then that's where empathy would be.
I've had one thing of illness ever, and it was given to me by Clementine. And adults shouldn't get it. Clementine got hand, foot, and mouth.
Oh yeah.
I got it. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought I was going to die. The only thing I could eat for about a week was Cocoa Pops. It's the only, because they go soft in the milk. Not Cocoa, Rice Krispies. They go soft in the milk.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could swallow. Mate, I went all crispy. It was unbelievable.
I mean, it's funny because you say you don't get ill, but whatever you've got is definitely contagious because you're giving everyone the ick.
Everybody's using that phrase now. What does it mean?
Just basically mean you're putting people off. There's something you do about people that they don't enjoy.
Yeah, I gave that guy the ick. Although he gave me the ick.
Well, I think if we can agree on one thing, it's that Rory Jennings knows how to give people the ick.
Agreed.
But listen, I always will celebrate you having difference of opinion. And I think what's good about this pod and other things like this is the fact that you and I have different opinions is why I like it, because we don't want to be just an echo chamber where you and me think the same thing, which means we're saying the same thing to our audience every time. And in this case, maybe more people do agree with me in this current climate.
Oh, no, by a mile.
But equally, there's loads of things I say where I'm the opposite.
I've yet to meet anybody, with this debate about pulling kids out of school, I've yet to meet anybody that thinks I'm totally correct. I've literally not met one person that says you're right on
about anything.
On this very
ever.
broadly true. I haven't really thought about it, but broadly true. But on this that I have thought about, I don't think one person. It'd be interesting when this goes out. I'm going to read the comments.
Yeah.
So if there is one person that would adopt my value.
Well, I think people may or may not challenge me on what I'm doing, but I think for this lad, the voice note, the China thing, it's an open shut.
The
case,
China thing
mate.
is completely different. Like going to see family members in a different continent. Of course, that is different.
But you're saying you wouldn't do that.
I've never had to really consider that. That's slightly different. What I'm talking
empathy again. Look it up. Just look it up in the dictionary.
What I'm talking about more is holidays.
Yeah.
I would never do the holiday. A trip to see family members on a different continent. I don't even necessarily think that is a holiday as such. It's more of a duty. It's a
But also, it is potentially important contextual information that he said about this girl, that she's very bright, and there was no concern from the teachers that they were going to get. See, where I draw the line is
if the kids are
if there's a general concern about a student, I think it's a different issue. Like if you're trying to do the school's job, which is to improve the betterment of that child, and there's an issue with that, I'm all ears. I think what I don't like is this blanket approach to the school day is sacred, and if you drop below 99.5%, you are there, a degenerate. I'm like, well, no, hang on. My kid is doing like algebra all night, and he's doing this.
The school can't differentiate between.
No, but the parent can. The parent can say, this kid is not behind, trust me, and this is going to benefit their life by taking them over there.
But it's very difficult it's very difficult for one parent to pull their child out of school, and then another parent wants to do it. You can't go, okay, that kid can go, but you're a dunce.
No, this is decentralization, right? It's giving parents the autonomy to make that decision on the best of their own child's behalf. And if I'm
Are you allowed? I know you're allowed to do it because you've got that rule, that sort of chink in the armor. What's the rule beyond 5?
No, post 5, it's a warning. Then I believe it's a fine. Then it's multiple fines. Eventually, it will lead to you losing your spot at the school.
But the fine will be worth paying because you'll save more on the holiday.
100%. People do that. People do that. So I won't say who, but I have some people that I know who had done it so much that they went on a big trip and they had to unenroll their kids from the school. Because if they didn't, they were actually potentially going to get prosecuted, because that's part of it as well. Because of where they live and the school they go to is not oversubscribed, they came back and re-enrolled their kids. But they actually said, they sat down with the school and said, we're going to do this. Just, we're not asking permission, we're asking you advice, because we're going to go on this trip to Thailand. It's going to be amazing for them. What do you advise? Because I know we've had our warnings, we've had our fines now. And they said, we have to advise you to unenroll the kids and then just enroll them when they come back.
That is absolutely ridiculous. You're playing with jeopardy. Like the jeopardy there, you might not then get your kid back into the school where they've got a relationship, and that is just bad parenting.
It also depends how good the school is as well. You might not be that bothered about losing that spot. So not everyone's got their kids in great schools,
No, if you're not bothered about losing it, but the fact that they came back and went back there suggests that they were.
But also the fact that the school advised them on that. The school probably said to them, look, we don't advise you to do this full stop, but if you're going to do it, here's what we would advise to stop you getting punished. There you go. Again, it's a debate that we'll ramble on, no doubt, and I'm happy to read your comments whilst I'm on holiday during school time with my feet up, enjoying life. He's not 5 though. That's my little asterisk. So don't come at me too hard. Thank you, Rory. Pleasure as always. And we'll be back soon with another episode of Internet Dads.